Business Economics 2 MCQs Part 8. A dash budget is one in which revenue of the government is more than its expenditure. Option A deficit, option B surplus, option C minus, option D unproductive. Correct answer is option B surplus. A surplus budget is a one in which revenue of the government is more than its expenditure. A dash budget is a one in which revenue of the government is less than its expenditure. Option A deficit, option B surplus, option B C minus, option D unproductive. The correct answer is option A deficit. A deficit budget is one in which revenue of the government is less than its expenditure. Speculative motive is influenced by dash. Option A liquidity, option B income, option C rate of interest, option D preference. Correct answer is option C rate of interest. Speculative motive is influenced by rate of interest. Dash is a one-time tax levied for debt redemption. Option A external, option B irredeemable, option C capital levy, option D surplus. The correct answer is option C capital levy. Capital levy is a one-time tax levied for debt redemption. Debt mobilized from external source is called option A external, option B irredeemable, option C capital levy, option D surplus. The correct answer is option A external. Loan in which repayment old principal amount is not fixed is called option A external, option B irredeemable, option C capital levy, option D surplus. The correct answer is option B irredeemable. Loan in which repayment old principal amount is not fixed is called irredeemable. Dash debt are self-liquidating. Option A external, option B irredeemable, option C productive, option D surplus. The correct answer is option C productive. Productive debt are self-liquidating. Dash public debt by and large is conditional. Option A external, option B irredeemable, option C capital levy, option D surplus. The correct answer is option A external. External public debt by and large is conditional. Dash fund creation are compulsory and burdensome. Option A external, option B irredeemable, option C sinking, option D surplus. Correct answer is option C sinking. Sinking fund creation are compulsory and burdensome. The difference between revenue receipt and revenue expenditure is known as dash deficit. Option A revenue, option B balance, option C surplus, option D physical. The correct answer is option A revenue. The difference between revenue receipt and revenue expenditure is known as revenue deficit. The union budget is usually presented by the dash minister. Option A revenue, option B finance, option C surplus, option D fiscal. The correct answer is option B finance. The union budget is usually presented by the finance minister. When the revenue is more than the expenditure, the budget is said to be dash budget. Option A revenue, option B finance, option C surplus, option D fiscal. The correct answer is option C surplus. When the revenue is more than the expenditure, the budget is said to be surplus budget. Dash deficit shows the extent of indebtedness of the government. Option A revenue, option B finance, option C surplus, option D fiscal. Correct answer is option D fiscal. Fiscal deficit shows the extent of indebtedness of the government. The dash deficit is the difference between physical deficit and interest payment. Option A revenue, option B finance, option C surplus, option D primary. The correct answer is option D primary. Primary deficit is the difference between physical deficit and interest payment. Dash theory of international trade assume a two-country, two-commodity and two-factor of production model. Option A traditional, option B old, option C modern, option D physical. The correct answer is option C modern. Modern theory of international trade assume a two-country, two-commodity and two-factor of production model. Dash theory begins where the recorder theory ends. Option A traditional, option B old, option C modern, option D fiscal. The correct answer is option C modern. Modern theory begins when the recorder theory ends. GDPI full form equals to Gross barter terms of trade. Option B, gross book terms of trade. Option C, gross barter terms of transactions. Option D, gross barter terms of trade. The correct answer is option A, gross barter terms of trade. GBTI full form is gross barter terms of trade. NBTT stand for net term of trade. Option B, net ticket of trade. Option D, no term of trade. Option D, net Batra terms of trade. The correct answer is option D, net Batra terms of trade. NBTT stand for net Batra terms of trade. Dash refer to the ratio physical quantity of import to physical of export. Option A, gross Batra terms of trade. Option B, net terms of trade. Option C, income terms of trade. Option D, real terms of trade. The correct answer is option A, gross Batra terms of trade. The gross Batra terms of trade refer to the ratio physical quantity of import to physical of export. Dash is known as the commodity terms of trade. Option A, gross barter terms of trade. Option B, net terms of trade. Option C, income term of trade. Option D, real terms of trade. The correct answer is option B, net terms of trade. Net terms of trade is also known as commodity terms of trade. Offers curve represent dash demand. Option A, net trade terms of trade. Option B, reciprocal demand. Option C, income terms of trade. Option D, real terms of trade. The correct answer is option B, reciprocal demand. Offer curve represent reciprocal demand. Dash indicate a country capacity to import. Option A, net trade terms of trade. Option B, reciprocal. Option C, income trade of trade. Option D, real terms of trade. The correct answer is option B, reciprocal. Reciprocal indicates country capacity to import. Dash influence the distribution of gains from international trade. Option A, net trade term of trade. Option C, terms of trade. Option C, income terms of trade. Option D, real terms of trade. The correct answer is option B, terms of trade. Terms of trade influence the distribution of gains from international trade. Free trade encourage dash. Option A, competition. Option B, WTO. Option C, Federalist. Option D, consumer. The correct answer is option A, competition. Free trade encourage competition. At present, free trade is encouraged by option A, competition. Option B, WTO. Option C, Federalist. Option D, consumer. The correct answer is option B, World Trade Organization. At present, free trade is encouraged by World Trade Organization. For more MCQs, please prefer subscribing and click on notification bell icon for the next part. Thank you.